What is happening, everybody? All right, so kind of idiot in mind. It's 95 degrees right now here in beautiful southeast Texas. So you can see behind me, we're at the drag strip. Of course, where else would you be? And it's 95 degrees. Y'all got to see this headwind. Can y'all see that? Hold up. Let's try doing it like this. Headwind like crazy. Look at that. Oh, glory just blasting in the background. Nice. All right, so not necessarily ideal today, at least not yet. Hopefully this wind will die down a little bit. We'll be able to get some, a little bit decent data on the car. But the thing is that everybody always complains about not running their car when it's hot or that it's too hot to run their car or whatever. Man, look, I don't get that because the thing, oh, door just about slapped me upside my red line, just tapped me in the ass. Flirtatious 34-year-old. No, man. Everybody's always talking about how they don't take the car to the drag strip when it's hot. And actually, it's a great time to get an idea for what the car is going to act like. I'll be doing some data logging tonight or today and tonight. Just seeing what the car acts like in the heat. Again, right now, ambient's about 94 degrees. I have no idea what the density altitude is, but it sucks. And headwind is about, well, that's a big ass flag in the background. And again, you can see it is flapping around, and I'm pretty sure you probably can't hear a word I'm saying because the white noise is jacked up. Hold up. Good God. Hell, I can't even hear what I'm saying. How about that? That a little bit better? Let's get this thing on the mount. All right. Let's see what we got in here. D SRT is up. Say, what's up, B? What's up, D? Fast man say, oh, yeah, wind noise is bad. So, yeah, y'all, it is blowing its ever-loving ass off right now. What is the temp right now? Let's see what the car says that it is. Guessing between, I don't know, it was 94 when I was pulling in. Get this thing up and rolling. Yeah, 94 degrees. That's a real treat. So anyway, I'm going to be doing some data logging on the car, doing some high temp testing. And we're basically going to chalk it up to this is going to be the worst case scenario. Everybody always wants to talk about, my car runs with whatever is a number that they think is all great. And the reality is if you're not getting your car out in all conditions and seeing what it runs, that's kind of a bit of a bitch move. And I don't know. I just like to see what the car does in absolute worst case conditions. It's not going to get much worse case than this. I think the track is going to go live here in about half an hour. It's not going to be any cooler then than it is now, I'm sure. Humidity is about a lot of percent. And this is basically fantailing the fact that there is a freaking hurricane or tropical depression or whatever it is that is kicking the crap out of Louisiana. So for all my sisters and brothers and everybody else out in Louisiana, hunker down, y'all. But yeah, so add to that basically just some pretty lousy conditions. And that's about it down here. A little, ooh, it's one of those pearl white Hellcat Charger just rolled over here. Got, let's see, what's at the dragster? Actually, some pretty decent stuff here. We got 3 Supras, real clean looking. Mark IVs. We got that Hellcat that just rolled up. A couple of good looking Mustangs. Let's see who all we got in here. Fast man saying DA 4000. Man, I tell you what, it feels like it. I have no idea. DA is sucks. Tracy's checking in saying, what's up, B? What's up, Tracy? And then Matt saying, so true. Most of my buddies won't go unless DA is negative and sub 75 degrees, man. Yeah, that's, to me, that's really not racing, man. That's, plus you're just out there with everybody. The guys that, everybody always wants to know too, why is it that, some guys' cars are just faster or what have you? It's because they're out doing, seat time in their car when it's not necessarily optimal conditions. They're learning how to launch that car, how it's going to launch on, let's say not necessarily a great drag strip, how the car is going to actually deliver power when it's not delivering max power. How do you launch it in that respect? All of that has a defining role into building a skill set. And if you're not going to the drag strip, it's any other skill set. If you don't use it, you lose it. So anyway, let's see who else is checking in. Oh, Matt saying silly, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely. So basically the bottom line here is, I am sweating my ever-loving ass off. I don't get it. What the guy's just walking a Chihuahua. Anyway, so what we're up to tonight is just data logging. I'm gonna be getting some data on the car. Fuel mix is about not quite 50-50, 104 and 93 for kind of a reason that you might not think. I'm pretty sure I picked up a crappy tank of gas. I was doing some data logs on the car last night, messing with the trans tune, and had put some fuel in the car, was running it around. The car just was a little bit lazy. So I actually went half and half with the race gas mix. Typically I don't go that high. If I'm doing a blend, if it's 104 in something, I'll typically go like 2 gallons for like a quarter tank. This time I went 3 gallons for a quarter tank. Gets it just under half a tank of gas. It's about what the car likes. It's going to be a little bit over octane for what the car typically likes the most. If I could run this thing on 100 octane, it would be just as happy as a clam. But right now, 100 octane is kind of hard to get my hands on. So at least locally. But at any rate, that's what we're up to in a nutshell. Let me get this thing plugged in here. So yeah, it's just, I'm going to open these doors up, get some air flowing through here because your boy Brian is sweating ass off. But anyway, yeah, getting back to it, kind of a crappy tank of gas, so it's got a little bit of race gas in it just to balance it out. It's not going to do it any favors, not with the headwind like what we have. In fact, I've got my cones that I'll typically set out, you know, when you get here, kind of, you know, stake your claim, and man, I had cones just scooting all over the place. I had to go chase them down, looked like a freaking moron. So let's see. Slash was checking in and saying, what up, B? What up, Slash? Fast Man saying, you're a true racer, Brian, as you go out in good and bad racing conditions. Brother, absolutely, man. I mean, I want to be able to bring you guys the best content and the best advice and the best, you know, experience that I can give you. And, you know, when folks are asking, hey, what does the car run? I mean, well, you got to start asking some questions. You know, telling everybody what the best time that your car ran is, well, it's a little bit, I mean, you want to talk about that, right? You want to talk about that best pass, but the reality is that you're always going to have that that average run. And what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to find a natural average for the car. And you got to do this in horrible conditions. And it's fun anyway. You kidding me? I mean, I'm out here driving a freaking Hellcat down the drag strip. How's that not fun anyway? That drives me nuts. Let's see. The SRT saying, just got some mods in, 285 upper, JBA mids, K&N dropping 180 T-stat, PCM and tuner. What type of power should that make? Depends on the dyno that you're on. If you're on a fairly normal dyno jet, oh, looks like we got a little, I don't know if that's a TA or what. Anyway, if you're on a Mustang dyno, chances are you'd be hovering around the 720 range. If you're on a dyno jet, you might see 780, 790, somewhere in that range. Matt saying, hey, Mason and Sean, thanks for advice on mid-pipe delete on my 07 Charger SRT8. Sounds way better and no drone. Absolutely. It is a good sound, isn't it? Kyler's asking, went race for the first time the other day. Boy, are you right about seat time. I only ran at 8:53 at 88.12 for my best time. Had a blast, though. Man, look, as long as you're having fun and enjoying yourself, that's really all that matters. You learn quicker when you're having fun, and don't take it too seriously. Get out there and just have a fucking ball with it. And the other thing is this, you know, it's a lot more fun if you have other folks around you that are doing the same. Somebody you can, you know, bounce advice off of you. We'll typically get a pretty good crowd up here with the Hellcat, so I'm always the first one here, though, and so that's usually why I'm doing these on the front end before track day. But, you know, we're having a lot of fun with these things, and again, it's just trying not to take it too seriously. Riff saying, yo, B, what up? The SRT's asking, does Pites do remote tunes? Yes, he does. Absolutely does. Remote tuning is, so you can do it either one or two ways. You can either do it on the street or with a dyno. I would prefer to have the car on a Mustang dyno loaded so that you can do some more in-depth testing. Good God, man, I smelled myself. Whew, I'm already sweating already through this shirt. Pheromones. Anyway, the idea is you need to have it on a Mustang Dynator where you can load it and do some tests that you can't really do on the street. You get the best results that way. However, street tuning is fine. But you've got to be in a position where you've got a lot of dead and open road where you can really load the car up in a lot of different conditions. And that can be a bit annoying, to say the least. So, but at any rate, you know, the main thing is if you guys are airports, yeah, that's a good spot. Well, back in the day, that was the best place to go. Headshot saying, hit up the airports. Yeah, absolutely. If you've got one around you where you've got enough room to really leg the car out, the problem is you've got to be in fifth gear and you've got to be able to stretch fifth gear all the way out. And that can be kind of tough. So, let's see, especially if, you know, law enforcement is on your shit. Let's see, Rip 33 is saying, I took my Hellcat to the track on Wednesday. Only got a, hang on a second. Hang on, guys. Hang on. Huh?
Do you know what time they usually line up?
7 o'clock. Yep. Yep. Yeah, track will go hot at 7 and it should run hot until 11:45. You got it, man. All right, so back at it, guys. Let's see, Rip saying, I'll take my Hellcat to the track on Wednesday. Only got an 11.3, had really bad headwind and not good weather. You know, I'll tell you something, depending on the conditions and your altitude, 11.3 isn't half bad. So, yeah, don't knock an 11.3, especially during the middle of the summertime, man. Keep in mind, guys, too, fuel quality can turn to crap during this time of the year. And, you know, that's kind of what I'm up against tonight. Again, I'll be data logging. We'll see how everything shakes out, but I'm pretty sure, well, fairly sure that, once this tank mixes up a little bit, I did a couple of hits on the warm-up track, just trying to flush out the fuel rails and mix the fuel up in the tank a little bit. So that's what I'm up to right now anyway. That's kind of the vitals for today. Density, altitude, sky high, temperature, sky high. Headshot's asking, what car am I in? I am in Little Miss Revlon, the red Hellcat Challenger. So, but again, let's see, how much fuel am I running here? Should be just a tick under half a tank. Let's see. That's another thing too, guys. By the way, don't try, a tick under half a tank. Don't try to cheat your weight down with fuel. Get the weight out of the car in other areas. You don't want to run into a situation where you hit a fuel starvation on a launch, especially if you're running a drag pack setup, high traction, well-prepped track, all of that. An extra, 20 pounds worth of fuel isn't going to make a difference in your ET, but it can make a difference if it, basically goes into fuel starvation mode. Not really a bad thing necessarily during the summertime, but you can definitely hurt something during the winter. Rip is asking, what do you think about throwing 100 octane at a stock Hellcat just to help with timing being pulled? It'll love it. Do it and be happy with the results, because you will be. Headshot saying, I look like I work out at the gym. Yeah, a little bit. You can say that. I've posted some videos of my progress lately. And back in the gym, and back to training. So haven't started sparring again yet, but I am hitting the heavy bag and running the speed bag and just trying to get my fat ass back in shape. Eating clean, that whole deal. Oh, a little skitty cat just showed up. Pretty. Rift, has anybody ever told you kind of look like Big Chief? Yeah, they have, as a matter of fact. Call me Little Chief, apparently. Hell of a lot slower, too. But, let's see. But, no, yeah, I am back in the gym. Posted the first update shot of me back in the gym on my Instagram page. And, like I said, I threw up that one of me. There's the very last cool down round on the speed bag. And I got to tell you guys, man, that was brutal. I mean, my rounds suck right now. The fuck was that? Rounds are sucking right now. I'm just trying to drag myself back to at least being in shape, being healthy, trying to cut weight too. trying to get back down to like 185, 190, because Mama's good old-fashioned home cooking definitely putting the LBs on me. Headshot, what part of America you in? Brother, I'm in Texas, more specifically Baytown, Texas, at Houston Raceway Park. What's the density and temperature where you're at today? Kyler is asking. It is 94 degrees of Fahrenheit. Density altitude, if I had to take a guess right now, is about 2,800 feet. Because barometric pressure sucks because we've got a tropical storm out in the Gulf of Mexico, and it is humid as hell down here. Rip is saying they do not prep the track where I go. Unfortunately, you get whatever is left over from NHRA runs a few days before. That sucks. You get out there with a bug sprayer full of VHT, tell them to spray it on there before you make a hit. Well, quit being so damn cheap. Onyx is saying, hey, I made it on time. I like it. Very good, very good. Let's see, what time is it? It's about time for us to start getting in line. And we got about 20 minutes. We got about 20 minutes, and they're probably going to be about 10 minutes late, more than likely, if it goes the way that it normally does. But, yeah, it's hot in a way. Like down here, it's not so much that it gets hot. I mean, it gets hot in a lot of places. I've been hot in Chicago. I've been hot in New Mexico. I've been hot in California. I've been hot in Florida. Hot is one thing, but, man, it's humid as shit down here, and it gets real still. Even though it's, you know, blowing like crazy right now. But the weird thing about down here in Texas is that when it gets really hot, it never really cools off. It just gets a little bit more humid at night. So it's like the heat just never goes away. Headshot saying that he is in England. It's a nighttime right now. Gotcha. Oh, shoot. Rift's saying one of the bolts broke off his diff brace last night during the bracket races. At least that's what I hope it is, because my car is making a weird sound now. Better get back there and check that out. Yeah, you definitely want to get back there and check that out. DZ saying, watching from Banff, Canada. I like it. My northern brethren saying it's nice and cool up there. I like it. James is saying I'm heading to Dallas at the moment, then back to Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City's a nice place. I love Salt Lake City. Matt saying 90 at humid New Jersey. Feel your pain. Absolutely, man. I tell you what, Northeast, you guys get hot and cold. Chicago is kind of the same way, man. I mean, it can be 94 degrees. Actually, it's a pretty nice little Mustang. It can be 94 degrees in the summertime and freaking minus 4 degrees during the wintertime. That's just insane. I don't know how y'all guys survive that. Well, guys, I'm going to start getting this thing ready to start rolling. I will hit you guys up in just a little bit, give you guys some updates. And let's see, check in with everybody. I want to make sure everybody is not said hello to. Was this Dislike saying hello? What's up? The creator saying sup. Sup, man? Ernesto, my man, is in the house saying, what's up? I was so tempted to go today. Brother, you got plenty of time. Hop in that truck and get down here, man. Ernesto's got a sweet RT Ram 1500. The creator, you look 94 degrees. I feel 94 degrees. Let's see. James asking, you see anyone out there that could give you some good competition? Man, you never know. You know, it could be one of the supers could be pretty quick. Pretty much kill them out of the hole, and then they start reeling you in on the big end. So those are always fun races. It's funny, there's 1,000 horsepower supers that run low 11s just because getting them to hook up can be hard or whatnot. So those things on the big end are always a riot. Some of the Mustangs can be real fast too. So again, typically with it being a Mopar, crush them out of the hole, and then they've got to reel you in on the big end. A couple of bracket race cars look like they're floating around here. I doubt that they're going to be really going after it. Usually those are like 10-second cars that are running 12s. So yeah, not really too much that I would be concerned with just yet. But then again, it's all racing to me, man. I don't care. Just line them up and let's see who gets to the end of that quarter mile first. Oh, Rift, damn, thank you very much. Rift is saying my car feels like it's a $5 contribution to the cause. the hydration fund. Appreciate that, brother. Saying my car feels like it has a flat now, even though it does not. So I think it's a diff brace loose. Yeah, I wouldn't be driving that thing right now, man. Get back there and check it out. Make sure that that thing is not cracked anywhere. That's the other thing. For sure, because that's the last thing you want to run into is a problem with that diff. But thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. Dislikes asking, what car am I in? I am in my Hellcat. Headshot saying, so he's wanting to do a drag race? Absolutely. The creator's saying no. Oh, yeah, no, dude. I figured just it looks like it. I know what you meant, man. No sweat, bro. It's all good. Kyle Adams saying 88 and 50% humidity in St. Cloud, Minnesota. Man, dude, that I wish. I could go for 88 degrees and 50% humidity. It's 94 with about 100%. And that flag is still blowing, too. Onyx is asking, is there anyone that makes a 5.7 ported truck intake that you would recommend? Unless I'm the one doing it, Peak Speed. I think those guys are doing the 5.7 manifolds. The creator, I like chickens. They look thick at the end. All right, man. I like chickens too, man. They're delicious. Habu saying 82 in SoCal. Nice, brother. Bro, I miss California. My adopted home state. And James saying, good luck, man. Keep us posted on the results. Absolutely, I will. So, guys, I'm going to start getting this show on the road. Riff, thank you very much for the hydration fund. I do appreciate that, brother. Get back there and take a look at that diff. Make sure nothing's rattled loose. Also, take a look at your carrier bearing on your drive shaft if you don't have an aftermarket drive shaft. Yeah, make sure there's nothing flopping around back there. That's definitely a problem if you're feeling like that. But at any rate, thank you guys very much, and I will catch up with you guys soon. That's a wrap. Adios.